YPG, as much as the time for the leadership may be short, but we can really create something out of the ordinary. We can make ourselves leaders, worthy leaders for that. If we show example, if we show leadership at our various levels. So back home, we should do that, not just being virtual members of PSN-YPG, particularly at the national platforms, but to truly get hands-on experience at the local and state levels, so that anybody can say yes of the truth that there was a YP that passed through the ranks through the states, if we get what I mean. So I want to encourage us to collaborate with the leadership and give it all the necessary support that they deserve. So let me not preempt the meeting while we go ahead. Maybe I will speak again at the AOB. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, able Assistant National Secretary. Thank you. So back to our leadership summit. Are there any concerns, any challenges so far that is preventing us from registering? And for those who have registered so far, do you have any concerns, any questions you need us to answer for the leadership summit? Or any contributions as to how we can make it better? None. Okay. I want to take it that our silence means that there's none. Thank you all once again. I look forward to our full participation. Okay. Pharmacist Chuka, you can speak.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chairman. Thank you, everyone. The first day I saw the flyer, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah. The first day I saw the flyer, I actually reacted. I saw it in Imo YPG group.
Okay.
And I was of opinion that the amount for registration is a bit on the high side for YPs to participate. If we really want to have all the YPs who have that drive for leadership, I think that amount is high. And again, considering the date too, some persons would really want to be there physically. But looking at that date, 5th to 8th, in fact, to me, is that time of the year when I spent indoor trying to figure out what the year would look like. And then if somebody has to use that time to travel for a program, I don't know, it's going to discourage participation from a lot of persons. That's what I feel. So I don't know if it's possible to adjust the date, and then if possible also, I'm not saying it should be made free, but we can get people to subsidize it. I don't know, but I understand the time is short, but we can still look at that price. It's high, I must say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your for voicing out your concerns. So, before we came to that timing as well as the fee, we did not just arrive at that particular figure. There were deliberations that were done. I don't know, Pharmacist Chuka, have you been to the market lately? We know how the economy is actually. So back to being serious. Anyways, the fees cover the certificate, feeding, stationery, as well as the training itself. And for those of you who have attended other YPG events, you know that we wouldn't want to give you a substandard event. So we are trying as much as possible to bring the fee, as in to make the fee low and affordable while still maintaining standards. We wouldn't want a situation whereby we subsidize it to a certain amount and then people end up not getting value for their money. I'd rather a person pays money and gets value for their money than paying something very little and then we don't get the quality we deserve. Then for the timing, of course, we had to put into, like I said, we cannot have a leadership training for a 1 year. Already we are 7 weeks into our administration. 7 weeks is already gone. And by the time we get to January 3rd, that's already 2 months, I think. I think so. No. Yeah, that's like 2 months into the tenure. And the tenure is only for 12 months. So imagine moving that program, further into the tenure. We already will defeat the purpose of the training. That's another thing. And we also have to consider pharmacy students. One of the things we also promised us during our campaigns was that we're going to carry pharmacy students along. And we know that academic sessions usually start, not the session per se, but the semester starts after the new year. Most of them will already be in school. I've already had a dean call me to say that period, they will be starting their exams at the beginning of the year. So our intention was for us to do it when they are on vacation, when some of us are also on vacation too. So that, let's say you went to your village and you're on your way back, you can just quickly branch Lagos and do the leadership summit and go back home. Or you can still be at home and then you participate virtually before you get into the year fully. So that was the reason we decided that we should have it very early in the year. Of course, those who miss out on that first one can always, somebody is smiling and saying pharmacy students. Of course, yes, pharmacy students, because we are the leaders of tomorrow. In fact, we are the leaders of today. So we need to prepare them for the future, because a lot of those final year students will become YPs before the end of next year. So in fact, they're already YPG members in association. They're already associate members. So whatever we do, we need to carry them along too. Yes, pharmacy students. I'm saying it again, pharmacy students. So these were all the things that we considered. Anybody who misses out on this first leadership training can always participate in the subsequent ones. This is not going to be the last leadership training we are going to have before the end of the tenure. So I believe I've been able to answer your question that 1, the fee was so that we can maintain a standard. 2, the timing was chosen. The timing was chosen so that other persons can participate, as well as our NEC members too. Our NEC members have to be prepared. We have to be prepared for the task at hand. You don't train people for battle after the battle has been won or in the middle of battle. You train them before they get into the field. So is there any other concerns, please? Thank you. Any other concerns? Or have I answered all your questions? Contributions, concerns? Pharmacist Abonyi, we'll take that under advisement. We haven't gotten Pharmacist Abdulatif, we haven't gotten to that yet. That will come under AOB. That will come under AOB. So any other contributions, suggestions, challenges so far in registering for the conference and paying? Not just registering, we need to pay, because if we don't pay, we cannot plan properly. And he who fails to plan plans to fail. Pharmacist Muna, please. We already know that you are Muna Kubana. Thank you very much. So for the call for committee members, I'm going to call on the secretary to give us a brief update on the call for committee members.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Good evening, and good evening, fellow YPs. Thank you very much for turning up for this program. Currently, we have a total number of 114 persons registered for the committee membership, for both committee membership and committee coordinator. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary. So far we have 114 persons who have registered for the 9 committees, and that's for both the membership and the coordinators. I want to thank us all for our participation and our drive to make this administration. Yes, the deadline for the application is on the 26th of December. So while you're eating your rice and chicken on Christmas Day, please remember that the very next day is the deadline. The very next day is the deadline after Christmas. So those of us who are interested, we'll take that under advisement, just like we have said. I have to speak with the committee members and get back to the house, because we cannot just conclude that we are going to make the we are going to slash the fee, because a lot of planning has been put in, a lot of planning has been involved, a lot of budgeting as well. So I'll find out from them if we can make room to accommodate more persons who are willing to participate virtually. No promises yet, please. No promises. We are going to go back to the drawing board and then get back to the house on that particular issue. Thank you all so much. Then for our PSN-YPG conference, it is no secret that our next conference is going to be holding in Lagos sometime in the middle of the year. We have sent our itinerary for that particular conference to PSN. So we are waiting for feedback from them, a confirmation of our dates, because we don't want it clashing with any other technical group or interest groups conference. So we are going to let the house know all that is, we'll give the house feedback when the time is right. So please, let's start preparing ourselves. Let's start preparing our minds, knowing that, especially for security challenges, traveling by air is the safest this period. So we can start saving our 2 naira daily. We can enter our Osusu or piggy vest, or what's that other one called? There's something, piggy bank. Start saving towards the conference, because I know for a fact that it's going to be very impactful for us. We have a lot we are planning for this party. It's going to be huge. Yes, it's going to be very huge. So let's try as much as possible to start preparing in advance. We haven't fixed the registration fee yet. So let's also have that in mind, because we will also make it a hybrid conference, just like the previous one was, for those who can't attend physically. The world has gone digital, same as PSN-YPG. I mean, once upon a time, it wasn't possible for us to attend meetings virtually. But now we are here already. We need to explore this option. Hopefully, one day PSN-YPG will get to a point where we can also vote online. Not to say that's coming up right now, of course. But the world has gone digital. We need to get on board with the times. So that's that for the PSN conference. Then we're going to move to farmer jobs. Yes, like some of us must have been seeing some posts from farmer jobs everywhere on all the platforms that we are on. We are working in partnership with Farmer Alliance, to create an online job portal for ease of applications and also internship placements. So if you go through the Farmer Jobs portal, you find out that some organizations are already posting internship placements on that website. So that rather than having YPs travel all the way around the country, some of us were unfortunate to go to different zones in Nigeria in a bid to get internship placement. I went to the west, I went to the north, I applied in the east, but I didn't go. I went to several states in the south before I eventually had internship placement. So it wasn't funny. Wasn't good that we had to go through all of those. We are trying as much as we are also working in partnership with some community pharmacies. We don't want to unravel that yet. We're working in partnership with some community pharmacies to ensure that at every point in the year, certain students, there will be a criteria for selection for certain for some pharmacy students who have done well, who have done exceptionally well academically and in their leadership skills too, will be selected and given honorary internship placements in some community pharmacies. So these are partnerships we are trying to work on. Please, let's try as much as possible to sign up on the Farmer Jobs portal. Sign up from last month till the end of December is free. Free until the end of December. After that, we are going to be paying a token to get on board. So please, let's explore this let's explore this option. So let's inform other people, those who are unable to participate in this meeting because we have gotten to what's it called? We've gotten to our limit. We can't accommodate more than 100 in this meeting. So you can join us via YouTube. We are streaming live online on YouTube now. Like I said, we've gone digital. Have outsiders joining our meeting. So we won't be sending it to our social media handles. Rather, we'll just leave it in-house, WhatsApp and Telegram. Thank you all so much. So if anybody has any concerns about the Farmer Jobs portal, please kindly indicate so we can call you to speak. None. Okay. So let's move straight to the next item on our agenda, which is University of Washington courses. I'm going to call on my vice chairman to propose dates for the conference is 5th to 8th of January 2022. Farmer Jobs portal is farmerjobs.ng. Farmerjobs.ng. Farmerjobs.ng, that's the portal. So you can go online and get to view the website. And then whatever challenges you have, you can always ask in PSN-YPG conference. There is no fixed date yet. Like I told us earlier, we've sent our proposed itinerary to PSN. Until they've given us a confirmation, we cannot publish the said date. We can't publish the date until we've gotten a confirmation. And subsequently, yes, Farmer Jobs giveaway is still on. Let the PRO give us an update on that. Pharmacist Cynthia, kindly give us an update. Thank you. Pharmacist Cynthia, please give us an update on the current promotion. I have requested that you unmute.
All right. Good evening, House. Okay, speaking is Pharmacist Ozulas Choma Cynthia, National Public Relations Officer for this association. Concerning the farmer jobs referral contest, it started a few days ago and would be ending on December 24th. So those people interested, of course, everyone needs to key into the farmer job initiative, because the platform is for us to be able to get jobs, opportunities, internship, what have yous. Many of you will see that I've been sharing posts, vacancies basically from the farmerjobs.ng platform. So for the referral contest, all you have to do is go to Instagram and follow farmerjobs.ng on Instagram. Under the comment section for the referral posts, just tag your friends to follow and like the page as well. Data giveaways will be made available for top 5 winners, with, of course, people with the highest referrals, top 5 persons with the highest referrals. I'm looking forward to seeing many young pharmacists join in the Farmer Jobs Referral Challenge. Compliments of the season. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Working well, PRO. Well done. So yes, I remember when we started this meeting, Pharmacists, so you were looking for a giveaway, right? Yes, so we have a giveaway for you. As our immediate past secretary, rather, our immediate past secretary, you are very well vested in the area of publicity. I know you are very tech savvy. Just go online. You have all our contacts, all our social media handles. Tag all the YPs from the database you have. I know that you still have access to those data. So tag everybody, and so you can win something out of it. So while we're here in our meeting, we need to recognize the immediate past chairman, Madam IPC Ma. Sorry about that. We didn't. Please address us. Thank you very much. Madam IPC.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, my chairman.
Good evening.
Okay, you can hear me. Good evening, young pharmacists. Compliments of the season. It's always a pleasure to be in our meetings and to hear us all deliberate on how to move our group, our organization forward. And thank you for the recognition. And I don't know what else you want me to say, but I think that's all I have to say for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much once again for your support so far, for your invaluable contribution. You have been more than a backbone. In fact, we will still keep calling on you whenever. And thank you for answering us as many times as possible. For all your contributions, thank you very much. So for our University of Washington course, we are going to call on the Vice Chairman to give us an update. Thank you very much. Mr. Vice Chairman, sir.
Good evening, young pharmacists. I compliment of the season, and I hope we are all faring well in our various locations. I must admit that it takes a lot of commitment to make our time to be in this meeting. Thank you very much. On the updates for University of Washington, so far so good. We applied to host a course. Can you all?
We can hear you, but your voice is breaking. Hello, Mr. Vice Chairman, you're muted. So we can't even hear you because you're muted. Can you unmute your mic, please? Mr. Vice Chairman, we cannot hear you. You are muted.
Like this.
It's not Ethel. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Participants at the moment, and we have applied for extra 40 slots, which was approved, and payment is still ongoing for every young pharmacist who wants to be part of the course. I think you have a duty to perform. That is, you have to pay a sum of 20,000 naira and then register. I think registration has already closed. So it's only for those who registered before the 8th of December that can still make that payment and then join the course proper. The course will kickstart on the 10th of January and runs till sometime on the 29th of March. So I believe we will be having other courses in partnership with this same University of Washington. So if you had missed the introduction to epidemiology, I believe if you sit tight and then make plans for the upcoming courses, you can always, and we will always provide the opportunity for young pharmacists of Nigeria to learn. So payments are ongoing. I implore everyone who registered and advocated that we seek extra slots to kindly make payment on or before the 26th of December. Failure to do so, the extra slots which we applied for will be forfeited, and we will make refunds to people who earlier paid for that batches and then carry on with the original 40 participants that was initially proposed. Thank you. That is the update on University of Washington. And I believe it's going to be a smooth course and it's going to be something worthwhile for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chairman. So just like we have said, we have always said previously, we are here to improve our competencies, both in the profession and other soft skills too. And our partnership with the University of Washington is one of those key tools to improve our clinical skills. So there's going to be subsequent courses, like you said, introduction to epidemiology. We're also going to have leadership and management in health. We are also going to have clinical management of HIV. There are so many other certificate courses that University of Washington has. So the past administration had always had a partnership. We are only continuing on the previous partnerships that the previous administration had rather. So please, when the time comes, let's try as much as possible to participate in this. I benefited from the leadership and management in health course, as well as the clinical management in HIV, yes. I also participated in those courses in 2017, and it has helped me a lot. I think we should make room for these courses, especially those of us who are interested in going into the development space. It will help us a lot. Like, of course, if you all know, leadership is one of the things I'm very passionate about. And I want us to be better leaders. Let's not just get into leadership positions without being prepared for those offices. It will do us great good. So moving to the next item on our agenda, which is the mentorship program. Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, we're going to call on you one more time for you to give us an update. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And on mentorship program, the Vice Chairman has been burdened with the responsibility of producing young pharmacists who are willing to explore new frontiers and then win in every front. And I thank the previous administration, the Trailblazer administration, for putting that up. First, they had a partnership with the FYP, and I think the project chairperson, the immediate past project chairperson for FYP is in our midst. We also thank him too for helping to put that up. The program is ongoing. We started the pilot phase sometime this December, and then we had our sessions, and so far so good. We have 6 active mentees and 2 mentors. It's a pilot, so that is why we wanted to start on a smaller scale to see how we can perfect the structure which we are bringing into Young Pharmacists Group. We believe that in the coming session, in the next mentoring session, we are going to enlarge it such that we're going to have a large number of mentors who will sign up and be willing to train these mentees. So far, we have had up to 4 sessions. This is excluding the other breakouts and the side activities that mentors and mentees are engaging themselves. And we've had 3 sessions with FIP already. And so far, so good. It has been very, very rewarding. And as we speak, the mentees, they are very happy, if you ask me. And it's one of a kind of opportunity for every young pharmacist to jump at when the opportunity presents itself again. One of the basic tenets of this administration is to ensure continuity of projects. It's a project that was initiated by the previous administration, and we have ensured that that continues for the benefit of young pharmacists. Of course, when something is good for young pharmacists, we have to continue in it. And so far, the mentorship program is running and is running very smoothly. The person coordinating that is Pharmacist John Bo at the moment, till we have new hands joining her. We have John Bo, Pharmacist Eminel, who is also a member of a committee, who was, I don't know about now, of the FIP, and who has been playing a very key role. And then Pharmacist Simika, our IPC, has been doing a very wonderful job. Then with the host of mentees, which we use this opportunity to thank them and also encourage young pharmacists to look up for the next available opportunity to join the train and be trained as mentees, learn and enlarge their horizon. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Pharmacist Tusaro. So like he has said, one of the most important things is continuity. We cannot just stop a project and then start a new one. The previous administration had put in a lot of effort into making that mentorship program work in collaboration with the FIP, and it was to pilot before the administration came to an end. We took it up from there, and we are working hand in hand with the committee members from the previous committee, as well as the IPC, of course. He has mentioned all of those. So that was a pilot. Subsequently, we would like to encourage us to apply when the need arises, you know, because This mentorship program, this is one of the things that we promised YPs, of course. We want a situation whereby we can always get hands-on experience, hands-on knowledge. Also, to have those who have done it better than us or ahead of us to hold our hands all through the process for the different things that we are interested in. We are going to expand subsequently, we are going to expand the mentorship program to ensure that all the branches of pharmacy are being represented in the mentorship program, as well as other extra fields that YPs are interested in. I know some of us are interested in data analysis, digital health, and the likes of those. We have young pharmacists as well as older colleagues who are doing very well in those fields. I mean, we even have the military pharmacists. We have the likes of Sparko and Jibo, as well as Simdi and the rest of, and the likes. YPs who have served YPG over the years, and now they've gone into the military sector. We have young pharmacists who are interested in going into those fields. So we would like to crave their indulgence over time. When they are called upon, they should not say no to us, as well as we also get other persons who are also doing so well too in other fields to improve on the mentorship project. So that being said, we are going to quickly go to our AOB. Yes, Pharmacist Solomon Akuma, I can see you. And I can see all the persons agitating in the chat box. As we can see, we have an agenda that we are working with, and that's where AOB comes in. Yes, that's where AOB comes in. And like you know, we've been in communication for the past weeks. We've been in communication, even as much as recently, a few days back, we've been in communication. So, and your incarceration has led to the NEC members coming to a conclusion that we are going to have a legal team. Yes, PSN has, anyways, before we go into all of those, I think we are going to give Pharmacist Akuma Solomon. Please, I would like to quickly state that this particular phone call is recorded, and we also, good, he can't even speak at the moment, so you can type in the chat box. So this particular conversation is being recorded. I just want to reiterate that. And so whatever it is we are doing, let's please have that in mind, knowing that we have an audience here, and this is live on YouTube, as well as being recorded. I'm going to say that again one more time. So let's try as much as possible, have that at the back of our mind before we say or type anything subsequently. Please. Thank you very much. So Pharmacist Akuma, you can type your message in the chat box. You are well recognized. We can see you. We know that you're here in the meeting. And right from the start, when you came on board, I knew you were in the meeting. So, well, and that's where the AOB comes in. So while you type in the chat box and address the house, we're going to read out your comments. Please go ahead and type in the chat box. So we had a NEC meeting a few days ago, and one of our resolutions was to have a legal team, because like we already know the health rights saga that happened. At some point, we had to quickly set up an emergency committee that helped with the resolution of the issue. We set up an emergency committee. We cannot always set up emergency committees, and we wouldn't want to set up committees reactionary. No, as we like to be proactive. So we're going to be setting up a legal framework in the association. We would also have a legal advisor. Yes, PSN already has a lawyer that we can always go to when we have legal issues. But PSN-YPG as an organization, there's nothing wrong in us having a standby legal advisor for our association that will give us advisory, that will play an advisory role, especially when it comes to legal matters. Like when we are becoming superintendent pharmacists in community pharmacies, manufacturing, or whichever contract we want to go into, we can always seek their guide us. And then when we have legal matters or issues with the law, they can always help to advise us on that before we go on to have to call on PSN counsel, because of course PSN has, like I've already told us, PSN has a lawyer, but that lawyer is serving the thousands of PSN members. So I don't think there's anything wrong in us having our own committee. So if we, and this committee is going to have representation from all the zones. We are going to have representation from all the zones. Subsequently, that list is going to come up. It's going to come out at the time when we are sending out the list of committee members for other committees. So let's not be surprised when we have such committees. It's constitutional, it's in our bylaws that we can set up those ad hoc committees. So if we like any other, if we have any other contribution, we are now in AOB. Anybody who has any contribution or any other matters to raise, please kindly raise your hand, and then I'll call on you for you to address us. Thank you very much. So yes, before we go fully into our AOB, we have Pharmacist Ikwa Ibom Umoyo in our midst. We also have Pharmacist Onyeka, Pharmacist Kasim. They are the big shots in FIP-YPG. Please, Pharmacist Ikwa, can you say hi to us, please? Pharmacist Umoyo. Okay, he's no longer on the call. Pharmacist Kasim, say hi to us, please.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be here. Nice to always join the town hall meeting of YPs in Nigeria. It's always great hearing the different views and, you know, everybody putting his own quota to make the association great. I was also sad that people wanted to join and they couldn't because of the size of the Zoom. Maybe we can look into that in the future, maybe expand a little bit to the Zoom business also. But I know funds is a problem. So I also implore us, anywhere you see funds, I beg, YPG needs money. Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Thank you very much. I like that part. YPG needs money. We don't have money. I remember being a committee coordinator, a committee chairperson, and whenever we ask for money, the PSN-YPG national chairman will always say YPG doesn't have money. I used to be so upset. And now here I am. when people call on us for something and we say the YPG doesn't have money, I just laugh because I remember that once upon a time I was at the receiving end of YPG doesn't have money. And now I'm at the end of dishing it out. But truthfully, our treasurer has typed it in capital letters. YPG needs money. Yes, that's true. Thank you very much for joining our national meeting. Of course, you are now an international person. Now we are chilling with the big boys. Thank you for joining us. We truly appreciate it, and thank you for your contributions too. And thank you for the opportunities you've opened up to us. You have given us several opportunities. I know, you know now, sending those private messages when opportunities arise. Same thing as Pharmacist Ikwa. A few days ago, an opportunity arose in FIP-YPG. He sent me a message. So I truly, truly appreciate the fact that you people always have us in mind. We are really very grateful, and we look forward to more partnerships in the future. And the likes of Chikodiri Ochuba, God's Gift, UND, and the rest of those who have gotten on board of FIP-YPG. Congratulations once again. So yes, Pharmacist Uche, you've been raising your hand. Please speak.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Pharmacist. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Compliments of the season. I hope everybody is enjoying and having fun. Please, my area of contribution is I want to know what is YPG National doing in terms of overseeing the affairs of the state chapters, because these state chapters are almost invisible. In fact, I want to state that I don't even know what they are doing, or rather, I've not seen what they have done. So, for example, you have new interns in all the tertiary institutes and secondary institutes in the state, and the state YPs are supposed to at least, get there and be part, let them know that there is something like YPG and the need for them to be part of what we are doing in the pharmacy profession. But we never saw them in our time. And it's only a WhatsApp group, and I feel they are not active enough. And that is why the issue of funds always come up, because if people feel you're not doing much, your presence is not felt, they won't want to, show responsibility in terms of supporting financially. It's not like YPG doesn't have money. We can support these things. They are no big deal, but we need to see what is on ground. What is YPG, even at the state chapter, at the local chapter doing? I appreciate what the national level is doing, but the state chapter is the closest chapter to us. What are they doing? And what is the national body doing to ensure that the state chapters are up and doing? Because to me, they're almost invisible. In some states, they're not even doing anything. They are just there, just occupy positions and add to their portfolios, but their impacts are not being felt. So these people need to come up and do something. Yes, so that's my contribution.
Pharmacist Uche, one question, please. What state are you resident in and practicing?
Abuja.
You are in the FCT?
Yes.
You're currently doing your internship, right?
I'm done.
Okay, so you're waiting for service. You're waiting to go for NYSC.
Yes.
Okay. Where did you do your internship? National Hospital?
Yes.
Oh, National Hospital. Okay. So, to quickly address what you've just said, one of the things I know is that I was in the FCT for a few months, sometime this year. About 2 months preceding the national conference, and a few weeks later, I was in the FCT. In fact, I've been in and out of the FCT for a while. At some point, I even got a transfer to go to the FCT, but I came back to my state. So I know for a fact that one of the most active states currently is PSN-YPG FCT. That I can tell you for a fact. I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but that's one state I know that I've experienced. I've been there. I don't. If someone tells me about one state, maybe in the Northeast or in the Northwest, I might not be so certain. But the FCT, I have been there. I am on 3 of their WhatsApp groups currently, and I know that when it comes to asking, like I mentioned, they are one of the states that have achieved the standard remuneration for YPs in their practice. That's also one of the states that they've been calling for. They usually have partnerships, meetings. In fact, they have clinical meetings in collaboration with so many pharmaceutical industries, pharma companies. I know for a fact because I'm inside their WhatsApp group. They also have very active deliberations on their WhatsApp group too. Someone said it's not in Abuja, but he knows Abuja is invincible. Really, tell me about it. So, well, and one of the things I always try to speak to YPs about is that let's not make it seem like it is their thing. It is our thing. When I went to PSN-YPG Cross River State, we didn't have PSN-YPG then. We had to rally around, go to send out emissaries. I would say it's emissaries to PSN, show them our bylaws. We found a way to, what's the word? We found a way to create and sustain PSN-YPG in the state. And currently, we are very active. So in the FCT, I don't want you to feel like it is a them thing or it is their thing. No, please, let's try as much as possible. If we get into a state and the state is not active, let's find a way. Ask questions, get involved. When they call on us for certain things, please, let's try as much as possible to participate, no matter where we are. Because, like we are saying, YPG does not have money. If you add all our 1,000 and state and national, that money will get somewhere, but it will not take us to where we are going. So it's not only about that our registration fee for the year. We need human beings too to make it work. It's not only about money. Our money can do so much for us. It will not do all the work for us. We also need people. Please reach out to Pharmacist Fesita. She's one of the most active state coordinators in please, let me check. There are some comments in the chat box. Let me go through them and see. There's some comments in the chat box. Yeah. So yes, those Abuja usually has frequent meetings too. That's one of the things I'm very much aware from. As is Gospel Precious, even when he was in NYSC camp as the state coordinator, state secretary, he was very active from where he was. I mean, that was where we hosted our last conference. Please, let's try as much as possible to make ourselves available when they call on us, especially for meetings, because the truth is, if you don't like the taste of the food, you have to get in the kitchen. That's one thing I believe in. So let's get involved in meetings, because when you're not present in a meeting, whatever is said in that meeting is binding to you wherever you are, because silence means consent. And if you stay in your house, the representation, people that are in that meeting, like see the 100 of us in this particular town hall meeting now, will come to a conclusion, we'll have resolutions for this meeting, and it will apply to over 7,000 YPs in the state. That's how it is even in the state level. Please, let's try as much as possible to get involved. Pharmacist Antonio Oguchi, you can speak.
Okay, good evening, House.
Very briefly, please. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to tell Uche that what Uche is trying to say is that we're doing well, just that the body just needs to find a way to at least welcome interns whenever they come into any state at all. That is just what he's trying to say. Abuja is very active. Our coordinator is the most active. We have a lot of things, activities, hangouts, and co. But just what he's trying to say is that at the initial phase, we had no idea. Though some of us had the idea anyways, but just what he's trying to say that at least most states should, not most, every state should be able to do that. That once there is new intakes for interns, that at least the YP show is supposed to go there, at least have a mingle or a hangout with them for that week, so that they will just know that this is what is happening in the state and this is how it is and all of that. I think that's what he's trying to say. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Pharmacist Gospel Precious, you can say something. I know you have something to say about this particular situation.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Good evening, dear distinguished colleagues. Gospel Precious here. And I'm the project coordinator for PSN-YPG FCT, not the secretary, Madam Chair.
Okay, Uncle.
Well, right. So like the last speaker said, I agree that there's always room for improvement. But like many people have said, we in the FCT, we are doing our best and we want an award to that effect. And like you, Madam Chairman said, we've made some very, very significant strides, as you can attest to that. But I want to say this in response to the last person that spoke. I'll speak for FCT, that's where I dwell. Just like you said, Madam Chairman, we've every month up to November, we have clinical meetings, publicized, and this is like physical clinical meetings held in different hotels in town where you can have item 7, learn and go home. We publicize, you will see 40 people, you see 50 people. We cannot come to your house and drag you. It's during this kind of meetings that we can rub minds, we can welcome you officially, and we can tell you what you need to hear. Just like we have up to 6 WhatsApp groups. 5 of the WhatsApp groups are filled. That's about 250 times what? Times 5. You're having 1,000 people plus. You call for meetings, you will see only 40 people. PSN FCT has, talking about PSN now. PSN FCT has monthly meetings. you will see only 5 YPs, only 4 YPs. And when the chairman, PSN chairman calls us and we're like, where are your members? They are not here. Nobody is there. They're all doing locum. And you're coming back to say that we're not doing enough. I think it's not fair. I want to appeal to all that as the new year comes, please participate in activities, identify with the group. The group cannot always move to you. Just as you know, different hospitals or different institutions take interns at different times. So it will be quite difficult because we have work as well that we do. The FCTA takes you, hold a meeting, National Hospital takes you, hold a meeting, Coca-Cola takes you, hold a meeting. No. But when we have those gatherings, monthly gatherings, and you come along, which is usually very, very highly publicized in the group, 1 week, 2 weeks to the time, you come along, you can identify with us and we identify with you and, know ourselves from there and grow. But just to say this to wrap up, for us in the FCT, we are doing well, we are going to do better, there's room for improvement, and hopefully in the coming year, your aspirations, we are going to meet them and even surmount them. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to call on the Assistant National Secretary shortly. But before I do that, I'm going to hammer on something that the IPC has just said. Just like in, anyways, let's not go to that. Yes, so we have talked about having meetings and YPs attending those meetings. Is it possible? Because I know how Abuja is. I was staying in Guags when I was in Abuja. In fact, some people used to tell me I'm not in Abuja, I'm in the outskirts. I'm in the Abuja wannabe. So I know that UATH is one of the major internship centers in the state, as well as we also have a lot of PSN members there too. So is it possible that we can move our meetings around so that people in Lugbe, people in Abuja Teaching Hospital can also participate? These meetings can go around rather than expecting them to always come to the Abuja metropolis. Is it possible that if we have today's meeting in Nyanya General Hospital, the next one will be in National Hospital, the next one can move to UATH and the rest of that? I'm not compelling you to do that, but it's just a suggestion that we can explore that option to help improve participation, because we don't want people, especially people in Guags, to feel alienated. Then another thing is evangelism. Sorry, I'm going to use the word evangelism for lack of better words. Like there's something we do in other states where we go to NYSC camp. And that was why when I mentioned the NYSC vaccination campaign, I mentioned that some of us already have existing relationships with NYSC in the state. While we go to NYSC camp and do our welcome to those in camp and then show them around. I know that that's something we've been doing in Cross River, Rivers, Akwa Ibom. We also donate drugs to the camp and, bring them into the fold. We can also do that for interns. We know the places that take interns. We know when interns come into town. We can go to those hospitals during their clinical meetings. Like UATH, they usually have clinical meetings, I think every Wednesdays or so. When they have a gathering like that, we go there, address them. Even if we don't even go physically to their gatherings, we can always join their WhatsApp group. Maybe fix a time, we ask who their who their intern rep is. We link up with the person, they add us to the WhatsApp group. We say a few words to them, send the link, an invitation link to our own general WhatsApp group, and they can join from there. That way, everybody is being carried along. So yes, I know that I came in the defense of FCT because I know that they are very hardworking, but that's not to say there are no loopholes and there's no room for improvement, just like Pharmacist Precious has said. So that being said, I'm going to call on the Assistant National Secretary, PSN, to say a word or two. So you can unmute.
Okay, thank you once again. Good evening, everybody. I really doff my heart for Pharmacist Gospel Precious, how he spoke and what he spoke. If we recall, I mentioned part of these, the things we are talking about now in in my introductory remarks about getting involved. But one thing I also would say, one, to the chairman, you particularly singled out Abuja, probably because you have lived and worked there. But I am sure that the person that raised the issue talked about the whole thing generally, and also that I'm going to speak generally about it, because yes, Abuja is doing well because of numbers, because of the leadership, and because of their location. How about places like, sorry, permit me if I say KB. How about places like Benue? What activities are going on there? Are we getting involved? Are we showing our presence? How about states like my state? So, and that goes on for everyone. It's not, we're not picking out any particular state, but it's a wake-up call. Now, I say something always like that, unlike the other interest groups of the PSN, the YPG is more or less transitory by age. And so when we try getting integrated, I think integration should be very key, because today we are here. I do not see anyone on this platform, about 73 of us currently now, that's in the next max 10 years, you will still be in YPG. Yeah, nobody. Okay, so what we should do along the line in exerting our presence, because right now we are talking about no funds across the states and at national level. How do we get ourselves involved? We can do that by doing little things for the state's technical arms or the PSN, showing presence at their gatherings and getting involved in what they do. That's the magic. If I'm a community pharmacist and let's say, for instance, I'm in Anambra State, and I can always give a helping hand whenever ACPN Anambra is doing any program or anything. It wouldn't be hard for them to say, oh yeah, YPG wants to go for conference in Delta State. You can take the ACPN Anambra bus, because they always see those people coming to their meetings, helping out. Not just that you are a YP, you are also a community pharmacist. So in that regard, we are playing the double role, doing the YPG work, doing the core technical arm work, and also doing YPG work. And it rubs off a lot. It is from those same people or groups that we can say, okay, sir, you are doing very well at your place. Can we fix our friends for locum at your place? Can you assist us with sponsorship? Those are possible. It is only when they start seeing us being present and helping out and participating. So that's one of the things I wanted to highlight on that. Like I said, it's not about Abuja or any particular state. It should be widespread. It should be widespread, whether it's in Taraba or Osun State, wherever. Let YPs exert their presence. Let them get involved locally. It's very easy for everybody to want to rush up. I want to go. I want to be in committee in the national. I want to do this. I want to do that. But there are little things that even at the local level we can start up with. And before you can say Jack, you have become a force to reckon with in your locality, in your state. Then you will find out that you will be the one that will be picked out, because goldfish do not have hiding places. So I want to keep on this to urge every one of us, beyond PSN-YPG activities, let us find ourselves relevant in other spheres of life, not just even in pharmacy alone. Whether anywhere you are, make sure your presence is felt. That's leadership. That's one thing I also can pick up from what the chairman has been saying all along. she has been saying leadership, leadership, leadership. You don't say leader, you don't talk about leadership hiding. You don't talk about it saying irrelevant things. If you have to contribute also, let those contributions be impactful, let them be purposeful, let them be deliberate. Okay, so I will urge us to keep doing this good work. Let us go back to our various states and build pharmacy that will be more virile, more stronger pharmacy. Now, to the second point I wanted to raise in AOB is this that during the formation of one of the goals of forming the Association of Resident Doctors, and more or less, that is like a militant. The ARD is like a militant arm of in PSN. YPG is the militant arm of PSN. I said is the militant. I didn't say should be the militant arm. Why I said that is that, yes, we may not be where we are or where we are supposed to be, but that's what we should be. So going forward, let us see ourselves, let us see the interest group as one that should be that militant arm of the PSN and be very vibrant at that. Things that we can do proactively. I always talk about proactivity. We can always pick out things that we can do. We can innovate on things so that when PSN or any of our technical arms look back, they will say, yes, we really have this future that leave leadership for. We really have this future and it is looking bright. It's not bleak because these people are training themselves, they are preparing themselves to take up this mantle. And they are also a group that have not left us vulnerable. What I mean by that is that a lot of times the enemy allows the ARD to do the very dirty job. I think PSN-YPG should start doing that or should be more forceful in doing that going forward. That is more work for the current NEC, but even at our local chapters, these are also things that we can do at our local level. These are things that we can do. I am particularly impressed with what Princefield, the leadership of Princefield did in Rivers State, and I'm particularly also impressed with what is happening in Lagos State. These are states, yes, they have the numbers, but you can have numbers and if you have leadership that is bleak, the leader will just stay there 1 year, 2 years, and nothing happens. So let the leaders of the various state branches prove their mettle, even with the small task that they're handling. As small as it is not smaller if you ask me, because once you come out and tell anybody that you are the state chairman of PSN-YPG of X, will even like, I'm talking with a state chairman of a group. So, and it's the way you carry yourself about it that will attract the respect, that will give, how would I put it now? That will give both respect and attraction to your office. And then you can also comport yourself in forward. People will even be looking for you. Seriously, I picked out Princefield now because I saw him several times. And not once did I see Princefield or maybe the Abuja coordinator that I didn't say, yes, truly I'm proud of this person. Even the
Thank you very much.
Okay, I can go on and on. So, but let me stop at that.
Thank you very much, our working well, Assistant National Secretary of PSA. Thank you for the past how many weeks we've been working together has been really impactful. And I look forward to more partnerships in the future. You know as we do it now. Thank you very much. So Pharmacist Prince Wilokiche, please say something. Unmute your mic and speak. Just a few minutes, please.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you very much for the opportunity, the National Chairman. And thank you very much for your submission, sir. It's a welcome development, but I'm happy that you're saying it here. And the number of persons, I believe the number of persons that are here are the ones too that take YPG activities very seriously. So looking at when YPG started and where it is now, I know there is progress, but there will always be room to do more. One thing I believe is first is that enlightenment and the Pharmacists leadership has set in motion things to bring about that, which is encouraging the association pharmacists, the PAN sites, to come on board. Because in as much as we want to be very, very active, we need the numbers. And it is still appalling that some YPs don't know their strengths. And I believe that states are working towards that. Because I know in the NEC platform, as we're working together, what most states have been doing, been carrying people along and the likes. So for the Abuja, your pharmacist, Uche, said something about Abuja. I will implore pharmacists, Precious, or to reach out to you if you have attended any of their meetings. Because we can't just start calling on people to do better when we are not doing things, we are not doing well in our own side. Have you attended their meeting before? I don't know if Pharmacist Uche is on board here. If you have attended any YPG Abuja meeting, whether company training and any of those stuff that they have been hosting, because I have been seeing their adverts. I don't know if you have attended anyone. Please just drop on the message box there, on the chat box, so that we know that you are helping them as much as you want them to help YPs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Pharmacist Prince. Pharmacist Nura, the Working Well Zone ex-zonal coordinator. You can address us.
Okay, good evening, everyone. The senior colleagues, Madam Chairperson, and everyone. Good day to you all. Actually, mine is just to express the vibe I'm feeling now, because I can see the house full with senior colleagues, and advices and contribution are coming on point, very, very on point. And I'm taking notes actually, and I'm still an active YP, even though my watch is over, was over. But actually, I have something in mind, especially in participation, because that's our challenge per se here in the side of the country, that northwestern states. But I know there are a lot of advice and contribution that we have been making to see we encourage PAN sites, very, very important. NYC, that's interns, and also core members, because that's where they will appreciate more. So you guys have said it all. The Assistant National Secretary, even though I came in late, but actually all the advice of senior colleagues here are very welcome. Mine is just to show my appreciation and wish this administration all the best. Previous administration have set standards, since from Onimisi down to our administration. That's the last one. I know things are improving, and I wish this administration will also do well. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Nura. We saw the great work you did as a zonal coordinator. And I want to first start by addressing the last thing you said, that you hope that this administration will do well. That is why we are trying to link up the older YPs and the younger ones. And we hope that with your wealth of experience, when we call upon you, you will not, of course, I know that you always come to our rescue, of course. So this is just to remind you that we will call on you when the need arises, and to also let you know that we know that you will not tell us no, please. So moving forward, to address this particular issue, let's just wrap it up. So I have 5 points here to wrap up this particular issue. Our zonal coordinators have a lot in stock for us to ensure that every zone is carried along, and they are working closely with the state coordinators. I mean, we have, what's it called? There's a group for all the PROs in all the states to link up and send information down to all the states. Like one of our colleagues said previously, not in this meeting though, charity begins at home. If all of us know this thing, and we have to build our roots, and these roots are our states, of course. And as much as the national, we might have very beautiful projects. If we don't have the numbers to execute this project, we are just wasting our time. All is only the dreams. Because just like our Assistant National Secretary has said, we are the militancy of PSN. We are the foot soldiers. I remember when I was state coordinator in Cross River State. Sorry, I always keep mentioning it because that singular act has set in motion a lot of partnerships. You will not believe that when what's it called, PSN national presidential aspirants were coming into the state, for every stakeholder meeting that was held, PSN-YPG in the state was invited for each of those meetings. Even in River State, the same thing, Pharmacist Prince can attest to it, that for every stakeholder engagement in the state that has been taking place and that will still keep taking place in those states. I don't know about other states per se, as in I can tell you directly from experience because I'm currently in River State practicing. I know these things because we made ourselves invaluable. They cannot do without us because, I mean, what do you want to do in the state that you don't need YPs for? They have the money, we have the people. And when I came on board as state coordinator in Cross River State, one of the promises I made to PSN was that because PSN activities, they are very minimal in the states. Pharmacist Mark Precious, you're here. I won't be saying it, I have witnesses here. But YPG, we brought in pan sites into because when they have pharmacy week, you just see 10 pharmacies showing up, 15, and that is it. One of the things I promised them was that you have the money, we have the people. For every event you have, I'm going to make sure I mobilize YPs. That it went further, that I even had to have one-on-one conversation with the Dean of Pharmacy School to ensure that on the days we had major activities, pharmacy students were released. Even for this leadership summit, I can tell you for free that we have sent out letters to pharmacy schools, that one of the deans of a pharmacy school reached out to me, introduced herself. I was shocked. And then she said, oh, I got a letter from PSN-YPG about a training you're about to do, so and so and so and so. Because our phone numbers are on these letter-headed papers. I mean, if we don't put ourselves in their eyeballs, they will not see us. And I want the PSN-YPG where, just like Pharmacist Joma said during her campaign in 2018, I want PSN-YPG to be visible to the blind and audible to the deaf. I'm not just saying these things. These are things that we are putting in action. I mean, PSN-YPG should be a verb, action. We're not talking nouns anymore. We're now talking verbs. Participation should be 100%. I want to use Cross River State again as an example. During the last conducted ACPN election last week, YPs, the ACPN state coordinator, is a young pharmacist. He's now up to 40. And the committee was made up of young pharmacists. Pharmacist Mark Precious, you're here, you know. The same thing, PSN has sent out a call for executive council members in the state. And I've been encouraging YPs to participate. Seek for elections. We have the number. If you want to run for office and the constitution allows it, by all means, take that form. Look at River State. The PRO and the assistant secretary, even the secretary self, they are all young pharmacists. I mean, and they've taken the state to digital heights. Now, PSN Rivers is digital. ACPN, the same thing. If we don't put ourselves on the map, who is going to blow our trumpets for us? Please, let's try as much as possible. And again, like I said, One of the things our senior colleagues have been complaining about is our competence. Yes, we want to be in positions, we want to hold positions, but are we competent enough to handle those positions? Because when we fail in that capacity, the only thing they are going to say is a young pharmacist came and spoiled everything. They will not say pharmacist Eteomba contested for PSN secretary in Cross River State and she did a poor job. No, that's not what they'll be saying. They will say YPG sent Eteomba and she did badly. That is the information that is going to go out. And that is why I am trying as much as possible to instill in us the required competence to get the job done. It is not just about filling positions. No, let's do exceptionally well. Look at Pharmacist Mbata. I mean, he's a young pharmacist. He's young. He might not be, I don't know, but he's a young pharmacist. He started right from when he was younger in getting involved in PSN. Go to Bayelsa. PSN chairman of Bayelsa is young. If he's up to 40, I'm not sure he's more than, or even if he's more than, it's not even that higher than Pharmacist Ronari Charles. Pharmacist Konyefa, who used to be our zonal coordinator, he's very active in ACPN and PSN in the state. I mean, these are young pharmacists that have done exceedingly well as YPs, and they've gone ahead in PSN and ACPN and other, even in Alps. Go to the states, you will see young pharmacists doing very well in Alps. That is why I'm invested in improving our competence. Let's involve ourselves in these leadership positions. We will not regret it. I mean, if tomorrow you come and stand and speak to your senior colleagues, they will listen to you. I mean, please, let's try as much as possible, get involved, improve our competence, so that when we get into these offices, we will deliver and we are going to serve as references as to why young pharmacists should be involved more. Please, thank you very much. So we are going to go back to Pharmacist Akuma Solomon's, we are going to go back to Pharmacist Akuma Solomon. He cannot speak to us, but he has typed in the chat box. I will encourage us to go through it. We've been in constant communication with him, myself, the IPC, and the vice chairman. We've been in constant communication with him. And so far, he has given us an update on the group. I want to thank YPs. Okay, first of all, let us know that when we got in, before we got into office, let's start from Pharmacist Issa. Pharmacist Issa had done some level of GoFundMe to fund, not GoFundMe platform per se, but he had raised some funds to support Pharmacist Akuma Solomon's trial and his release. Also, Pharmacist Yimika also did a lot of fundraising too at the PSN Council, and PSN Council, we were able to raise the sum of 205,000 naira that was sent to Pharmacist Akuma Solomon. And currently, we are maxed out from the official accounts for fund disbursement for this particular concern. And I would like to crave our indulgence. We are going to send out a link and also an account number to help us support him to ensure that he can get justice and is released back into the society. Because, I mean, he's a young pharmacist. He has his life ahead of him. Please, when we are called upon, let's try as much as possible to donate. I mean, we have over 7,000 young pharmacists in the country. If each of us can raise at least 1,000 naira, it will go a long way. To go a long way to help him. Please, let's try as much as possible. When we are called upon, let's not say no. Please, this is where our little prayer and our little 1,500, any amount we have, will go a long way to help us. And we promise that we are going to ensure accountability, to ensure that he gets all that is apportioned to him. Please, I'm going to give us 5 minutes for any contributions and suggestions as to how we can make this possible and as speedily as possible. Thank you all so much. Five minutes. If you can't speak, please type in the comment box. Pharmacist Cass, you can speak.
Okay, good evening, everyone, once again. This case is a case that really resonated with me personally because it could have been anyone actually. Pharmacist Akuma is one of us, is a young pharmacist. And the laws of the land dictate that any action or inaction should be able to be settled in court. And that's the process that is going on and on now. Although we are seeing some signs that some parties don't want the process to go seamlessly, or they want it to skew towards their direction. But in everything that is in this country, funds are needed. I want to first of all thank the PRO, Cindy. Cindy has been doing serious publicity, and I know that we can also use her platforms. And the chairman also said now that there is a council of PROs, need to put up a write-up that explains the need for us to stand behind Master Solomon Akuma with our funds in this time of trial. To be shameful, that will allow him to stand alone. And the fight has started a long time and it's still continuing, and we shouldn't relent till we see results. That's the way I feel. So there is nothing like crowdfunding, especially in cases like this. Little drops of water makes an ocean. So I think we can also use that avenue, put up a write-up, then attach a bank account to it, and we'll keep dropping in our little funds. And I believe it will make a lot. So what I really want us to do is to see the need and appreciate what he has done, what has been done so far. What has been done so far is phenomenal. I also want to thank the previous chairman, starting from Issa Mohammed, who were wonderful, Imika, and now Etel. You guys have been great. I like how you guys have handled the matter. We need to continue in this our present path and make sure that we'll bring him home. We need to bring Solomon home. It's a statement when he comes home that pharmacists, we don't abandon our own, and that when we are in distress, we'll rally around to help each other. So that's what I just wanted to drop in. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Cassim. So any other contribution or suggestion? Okay, none. So I'm going to put a timeline to it. Let's not make it definite. Let's put a timeline to it. Today is 23rd of December. 5 days from today is 7 days from today is 30th. And yeah, 7 days from today, no, 31st, I think. Well, the end of the year. Let's make it a 1 week long donation. From now till the 31st of October, of December, the PRO and the national treasurer are going to work on it. They'll come up with the modalities as to how we are going to make it happen. So by tomorrow morning, we're expecting that a broadcast message will be sent out with an account number and a little message attached to it and sent out at the end of, by 6 p.m. on the 31st of December. We hope to have collated all that there is. I also want a list of sponsors and donors. For everybody that pays in ₦1, we need the name to be published. And except otherwise stated, if someone wants to be anonymous, then fine and good. We can make the person's donations anonymous. But we would specify how much was sent and by who. And we need, for accountability purpose, let's know how much is raised so we can help out our colleague. I think that's a wrap on that. Then one more thing on the AOB. This is to inform the House that the sum of ₦1 million that was promised by GSK for our conference has been sent to the association's post. So, well, so we are currently working on that. Lost audio, can you hear me? It's an GSK funding. Don't forget that that money was supposed to have been sent previously. We already had basic. For that money, we had things that we're using that the money was supposed to, we had problems, let me put it unofficially, problems that money was supposed to go and press. It was supposed to press 1 or 2 problems for the conference. We were running at a deficit for the conference, and that money is going to go and press those debts. So I just needed to mention it because I remember that during the last Congress, some people were not so, how do I put it? Some people were asking a lot of questions and they didn't even believe that the money hadn't come yet. So, but now the money has come, but in retrospect, and we already have problems to press the money. We'll be to use and press this. I don't know. We know what I mean. So, Pharmacist Muna, stop being happy. And Pharmacist Cass, no more happiness, please. No joys with our money that we have used to handle basic. So, Pharmacist Thornberry, you can speak, please. Pharmacist Thornberry.
Okay, please, people should not mind my background noise. I just want to commend the leadership of this administration so far, because I haven't really been involved. Although Okechi has been trying to drag me along, but I want to offer myself. If there's anything I can do for YPG to move forward, I'll be willing to do that going forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Thornberry. Yes, there's something you can do. There's a way you can contribute. So there are 3 ways currently. Number 1, we have our committees that are, the call for committees has been sent out. You can apply to join any of the committees. That's 1. 2, you can be very active in your states. I know you're resident in Rivers. Yes, you're resident in Rivers. Rivers State has also sent out an application, a call for committee members. You can also apply there and be active, attend meetings. Then number 3, the very, very important one, please send funds. We need money. So please, we need you to fund us. We'll be very grateful to get funding from you. Thank you very much. So we are still in AOB. We have 5 minutes to round up on AOB. Mrs. Muna, I'm going to send your item 7 virtually. I'm going to send it to you virtually. Don't worry, you get it. Everybody's going to get their item 7 virtually. So we are still in AOB. Any contributions? Any contributions, please? So, well, AOB, we have another of our YP. Oh, hold on. IPCMA, please, you can speak. Address us, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. My hand won't start to pay me already. Okay, so first off, I think this has been a really good session. We've been able to raise some valid questions, and hopefully the answers would come in the coming days. I wanted to comment on the what are you calling it now? I wanted to comment on the mentorship program. I noticed that there were some questions about that. And then some people sent me personal messages. I don't know why. Please direct your questions to Fameto. So concerning the mentorship program, the current cohort is done with, or it's about to round up. And I expect that subsequently, the chairman and vice chairman, the entire team, they would send out whatever information is needed for the next tenure. Then also, thank you for announcing that the donation from GSK came in. I had to comment on that because it was a major part of the financial report that my team presented at the Congress. And I recall that there were a lot of questions concerning that. So just to clarify, if you still have the financial report with you, you would notice there was a section there that accounted for expected income of $1 million and also accounted for some of the expenses that had been made in retrospect from that. So that's what that funds was for. So I think at the end of the day, the total sum that was being handed over should be about 700 or 750 or thereabout. I just needed to clarify that so that those of us that were present at that meeting, it can be on records that a promise was made and it has been fulfilled. Yeah. And then also, we had a high participation at the beginning of this meeting, but somehow, right now, we are like half of what we were when we started. This also translates to so many of the things we do. There's always this initial ginger. And when things get real, so I don't use the cuss word, when things get real, we sometimes find ourselves dropping out or dropping along the way. It's not so good. We should try to encourage ourselves to stay, to follow through. That's usually what would make the difference between the amount of success we're able to record and any other thing. So I would just like to use this opportunity to encourage us, and especially on Solomon Akuma's issue, please, if the link or account details are sent out, please contribute as much as we can. I know that the leadership of YPG is going to do their best to see how they can get all the external support that we can get. But this would be the third time that YPG would be crowdfunding for this particular issue. This would be the third time. And there's donor fatigue everywhere. So please, let's just do all that we can do. And yeah, so thank you very much. And hopefully I would see you in Lagos for the Young Pharmacists Leadership Summit and subsequently for the conference. Thank you very much, Madam Chairman, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, our Working Well IPC. Yes, so you are going to send us funds. Thank you, Ma, in advance. Thank you for the funds, the expected funds. Pharmacist Mohammed, you can speak.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Good evening, everyone. I'm very delighted to be part of this meeting, and the deliberations have been very much wonderful from the start of the meeting. I just want to ask a clarification on something you mentioned earlier about the legal team. You said when the committees, I don't know if I had it right anyway, when the committee list will be out, that will also be seeing a list of that. So my question is, would it comprise of young lawyers around each zones, or it will be our members? And what if it will be our members, would there be certain requirement or criteria if it should be our members? So that is what I want to get a clarification on.
Yes, thank you. It's going to comprise of YPs, and they will be nominated from all the zones, and there are already set prerequisites that have already been given to our executive council members, our central executive council, for the selection of that committee. We would also have representation of lawyers, a lawyer or two. And one of the partnerships we are hoping to explore is a partnership with Young Lawyers Forum, so that we can work hand in hand to, like I told us, some of us have contracts that read for as much as 20 pages, 10 pages, 15 pages. And then there's fatigue You will be reading and reading. At some point, you don't even get it anymore, and then you're tired, and you don't know when you just signed something. And tomorrow you wake up and there's a whatever. Or getting into partnerships with people as a director, especially as directors in community pharmacies and the rest, same as importing. Now we know that we are now moving to the import and manufacturing segment. Before, the craze used to be in community pharmacies. Now there's a lot of production and importation ongoing. And we have so many young pharmacists who are registering as directors to those companies with non-pharmacies. They are partnering with them. You might not know the potential of that company today. You might not know how you're giving out your license. You don't know the terms of reference. You might think you know them, but we need legal advice. So it's not going to just be YPs, but of course there will be YPs on the team. And then we'll also have legal counsel too, to be incorporated, and then we'll work on the partnership with the Young Lawyers Forum. I believe I've been able to clarify that. Pharmacists, Gospel Precious, you've been given 30 seconds to state your AOB. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. If you can hear me, I think mine will require the attention of the IPC. It's largely on the work of the Constitution Review Committee. After we did the work we did in the AGM, I personally have not seen the draft of the Constitution that they are supposed to have gone to clean up to give us, so that we can know where we are as an association in terms of our bylaws and constitution. So I wanted to ask specifically, where are we with the Constitutional Drafting Committee in terms of the work they're supposed to be doing for us? They've not given us the fresh copy of it.
Well, the draft is out. The draft of that committee, of the bylaws is out. So we are just putting finishing touches to make it look beautiful. But as far as the technical work and every other thing that has to be done with that document, all those have been finalized. We just need to make it. Now we are working on the aesthetics. We are done with the key components. For everything that has been done, all the finishing touches have been put in place. So that draft is ready. So I believe I've spoken on behalf of the IPC when it comes to the committee review. That is sorted. So the last item, we have a pharmacy student. We have a pharmacy student that is currently bedridden. She's in need of a kidney transplant, and so far she's in Maiduguri. Pharmacist Hannah. She has sourced for funds from other organizations, and they've reached out to, even the state's PSN has been able to raise some funds, but they also need some money too, to make up the money so she can go for the surgery outside the country. So I would like to crave our indulgence that when we are doing our fundraising for Pharmacist Solomon Akuma, let's also let's increase the money, please, so that we can also channel some of it towards that cause. I'm going to speak with the PRO and the treasurer after this town hall meeting. So we'll set up modalities, how they would like to proceed. If we would like to do a group crowdfunding for both situations, and then we split the funds, or we'll set up two different accounts for those. So after this meeting, I'm going to speak with the PRO and the treasurer rather, so we can come up with a way of making this happen. But needless to say, by tomorrow morning, there's going to be a BC that goes out for fundraising for these two courses, and an account number will also be published. Then we know how we proceed from there. Thank you all once again for your patience, and I'm very happy. This meeting was slated, was supposed to run for 3 hours from what we projected, but it has run for 2 hours, 41 minutes. Wow, that's a record. Yay, Usain Bolt. So, well, we started at 100 and now we're at 48. I'm very pleased at the fact that we stayed this long, even as exhausting as it is. Some of us went to work, Some of us were in several meetings before now, and we'll still proceed to other meetings, but we made it this far. Thank you all once again. I truly, truly, truly appreciate. And I hope that with these beautiful deliberations we've had, we'll be able to convert them into action. Me, I like to talk and do. I don't like promising things I cannot do. So I want to believe that all of us that we've come here and had these conversations and said the things we are going to do, as we come out of this meeting, we'll get into action and we'll be seeing it for all the timelines we've set. We are going to make sure that we meet those targets. Just a quick summary. For internship placements, we have all been told to reach out to our state coordinators. we have all been told to reach out to our state coordinators on any viable partnerships that we would like for internship and other partnerships. Same as the MSO vaccination. For the biometric ID card, we've been given a mandate of 6 weeks by PSN to make it happen. Then the leadership summit, just to reiterate the previous point, is starting on the 5th to the 8th. And the fee for YPs are 15,000, for pharmacy students, 8,000, international delegates, $30. Someone suggested that we should reduce the fee for those attending virtually. Well, we might reduce it to 14,900 and 7,900. We have put that into consideration under advisement. So family and friends discount to be 100 naira, maybe, or less. That's to say that you spoke and we've heard you, and we are going to act on what you have said. So for the YPG committee, the deadline is still the 26th of October. So far, 114. I want to believe that by the time we finish this meeting and tomorrow comes, we'll have up to 200. And then we will be spoiled for choice. We might even start creating new committees with new people, because we are tired of too many people in committees. Let's hope so. I just wanted to, 14,900. You have spoken and we have listened. You said 15,000 was too much for virtual delegates. So maybe 14,900. Well, that's a step in the right direction. Then for the PSN-YPG conference, we know it's happening sometime in the middle of the year. It's going to be happening in Lagos. And we want it to be a very robust conference that at the end of the day, we'll go back home smiling, knowing that it was money well spent. And we've also all agreed that we will start saving our money from today, so that when we are given a window period to do our application, for our registration to attend and all of that, because I was the CPC chairperson for the Abuja conference. And one of the major challenges we had was funds. And imagine the likes of GSK promising us 1 million and they did not give us until after the event. That money would have gone a long way. And late registration, like I always say, he who plans to fail, he who fails to plan, plans to fail. If the money does not come, we can plan all the beautiful things. But if we don't put money on the ground, a lot of our vendors will not take us seriously because they need to see the money. That being said, also for farmer jobs, we have all agreed that we are going to sign up on farmer jobs, whether we need jobs or not, because tomorrow we can be employers of labor. Even some of us are in the development space and we want to sublet our jobs. We have people who have worked in the development space and they are out of jobs. And we also have some component of our jobs that we need to sublet. There's nothing wrong in us reaching out. Biometric ID card is an ID card that will help us, that we can use in places like airports, different places, knowing that when you carry the ID card and walk into a place, they know that you're a pharmacist and need to speak for something, and we are going to channel it in such a way that it will be linked to our database. Well, yes, I can see what you are saying, but then we have already said we are going to take that into advisement to see how we can reduce the funding. Truth be told, that 15,000 naira cannot cover for all the meals we want to give to the delegates, for both the meals, the stationery, certificate, the programs, the honorarium that we are going to give to our speakers, that money will not cover for all of those things. So even the food we are giving, we are still sourcing for sponsorships from external donors. So please, when you're called upon to make that payment, like I said, I didn't promise us any reduction in the fee yet until I've been able to speak with the committee and we see if we can move things around a little. If they come up, if they decide, and if they, because the reason we gave them that mandate was because we knew they could handle it and a budget was drafted. If I go to them and propose what the House has proposed and they say they cannot make room for it, there's no allowance for a subsidy for people who are participating virtually, I don't think I'll be able to do anything about it, because this is a suggestion will be taken to them and they already have a budget they are working with. So that being said, farmer jobs, University of Washington, yes, we are still open for those who have registered for the site and are yet to make payments. From what the vice chairman said, they can still make their payments. Mentorship program, the first cohort is almost done. We'll be sending out a call for the next cohort. That will be after our leadership summit. We're sending out the cohort. And someone asked about the prerequisites. The prerequisite was, there was a selection that was done. People made an application based on their area of interest, and they sent out their CV, and there was a motivational letter that was sent too. So we want us to put in so much work into, we should put in the effort, put in work into building your CV, as well as writing good motivational letters. Because I mean, it's called a motivational letter for a reason. It's supposed to motivate people to want, what are you bringing to the table? As much as they are mentors, they still have a lot of learning to do from us. We are young minds. I'm currently working on a project with a very senior pharmacist on a personal, as in on a professional level, but based on personal recommendation, because he sought me out for this particular partnership and we are working together. If somebody did not recommend me based on what I had done, projects I had carried out in the past, that wouldn't have been possible. Sometimes, in fact, all the times, our application letters, our motivational letters, our CV walks into the room before we even have the opportunity to open our mouth. Sometimes the work we did in the past speaks for us too. So please, even us as YPs that are doing so well in our area of interest, we can also sign up as mentors for our younger colleagues, because there's also going to be a mentorship program for pharmacy students and young pharmacists too. Pharmaceutical Nambata is very much aware that the PSN, during our retreat, one of the things we agreed on was that we're going to carry out career days in all the pharmacy schools, to do career days, because it's not enough that PCN comes to your school one day before your induction and talks to you for 30 minutes about your future. We want to work in partnership with state coordinators and NAPA, PSN in the states, every other technical arms. We're working with them to ensure that we have career days in all the pharmacy schools where these people will come, speak to us. That's why we have Pharmacy Week. I mean, we have some pharmacy students on this live call now. Then we used to have Pharmacy Weeks in our school, where we will call resource persons who are doing well in different areas to come and speak to us. But that's just once in a year. And sometimes we are looking for big shots. Sometimes these people have the money to give us, and that's why we just call them to come and sit down and talk to us for a few minutes. But we need people who are truly passionate and can carry us along every step of the way. So these are partnerships that we are trying so much to work on. Please, when we are called upon as YPs to be mentors, let's try as much as possible to avail ourselves. And as for the mentees, please put in a lot of effort into your motivational letter. Don't just write anything and expect that because they're looking for people, they will just take you. That's not how it works. Because we go through a lot of processes to structure this mentorship project and programs rather, and then call in these mentors. Some of them are from they're not even in the country. We don't want them to see us as if we are not even being serious. Please, let's try as much as possible to do well with our mentorship program. Once again, thank you all so much. I look forward to seeing us in Lagos during our Young Pharmacist Leadership Summit. I also wish us luck for those of us who have applied for committees. I wish us luck in the selection process, because it's going to be a very rigorous one. Because I mean, so far we have 114 persons for 9 committees, and we have more. We know the people. Some people usually do their stuff at the dying minute. We still know that we'll get like up to 50 more applications at the end of, before the deadline. Another thing I want to also inform us is that if you're selected for a committee and you do not renew your membership for next year, your nomination is null and void. Another thing is you're going to sign team contracts. So if you're not doing well, you're going to be taken off the team. If you stop doing well at the end of the tenure, and we are giving out certificate of participation and outstanding service, and you don't get a certificate, just know that you did not do well. Because I'm not going to be looking at anybody's faces when I'm dispensing my certificates, because that certificate needs to speak. So it needs to speak volumes. It needs to show that somebody did their job very well. And I'm not afraid to remove anybody, whether you were nominated based on your level of whatever. Please, I will still remove you from the committee. Even if you're an ancestor, I will remove you. Myself, I'm a living ancestor. So I'm not afraid to remove anybody from my committee. Even if you were put there as a mentee to get hands-on experience, and you decide not to put in the hard work, I will still remove you. People that I've worked with, they know me. I will remove you without fear or favor. Please, thank you all so much once again. I believe this is the end of the meeting. I want to call on Pharmacist Abigail Okonu to give us our closing prayer, the second stanza of the national anthem. Thank you. Pharmacist Abigail, can you lead us in closing prayer, the second stanza of the national anthem? Thank you. Okay, someone else, anybody available? She's currently busy. Anybody available to give us the closing prayer? Okay, Pharmacist Mary Chendu, please. Thank you. Oh, okay. All right.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Just, Heavenly Father, we thank you for a successful deliberation. Lord, we pray that you help us to run with it in Jesus' name. Amen. O God of creation, direct and noble call, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and truth. With mighty height attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Pharmacist Mary. For the record, we have people of different religious background, so we usually stick to just the second stanza of the national anthem, so we don't alienate others. I mean, yeah. But thank you very much. You have a very lovely voice. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. I truly appreciate. Thank you for your active participation. Bye. Bye-bye. Okay, as for item 7, please reach out to your state coordinators for your item 7. Yes, everybody from Rivers, Pharmacists, Ellis will give you your item 7. Other state coordinators, please disburse the item 7 to all your YPs. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.